Hey you guys, welcome to the channel. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already. So as you guys can tell from the title of the video, this is going to be an update regarding Maurice Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're going to go ahead and get straight into the video. So it has been a few months since we have gotten an update on this case. For those of you that don't know, Maurice Scott decided to file a lawsuit for defamation against several content creators here on YouTube. And with doing so, he also sent out several subpoenas and was able to collect personal data and information regarding these content creators. So some have chosen to fight back, and here we are with an update in that case. This is the countersuit filed by one of the content creators, and we can see these documents on the screen were electronically filed on November 4th, 2024. Ms. Black Titanic is listed as a counterclaim plaintiff, and she is also listing Maurice J. Scott Sr. as a counter defendant, as well as the Oprah Winfrey Network. They are also listed as a counterclaim defendant / third-party defendant. So we're going to go ahead and just read from the documents. It states that Ms. Black Titanic's response to OWN's motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim. Comes now Ms. Black Titanic, the cross plaintiff, and files a response and vehement objection to OWN's motion to dismiss and respectfully submits the following based on reasonable belief. The Oprah Winfrey Network, LLC, deemed an inseparable part, has filed a motion to dismiss the cross claim of Ms. Black Titanic for failure to state a claim. The standard of review, therefore, is whether or not there has been a failure to state a claim for relief in the detailed, fact-filled, 41-page, 21-count, amended counter-cross complaint filed by Ms. Black Titanic. Clearly, OWN's motion must be denied. A summary judgment standard shall not apply to said motion to dismiss and should not be intertwined. The standard of review is to review the allegations in Ms. Black Titanic's favor and to recognize any set of circumstances for which there may be relief. That there is no doubt that facts exist for which relief could be granted. That all of the facts alleged are taken as true. That all doubts concerning the sufficiency of Ms. Black Titanic's amended complaint must be construed in Ms. Black Titanic's favor, and that facts are sufficiently pled supporting conclusory allegations. And it states OWN's motion is self-defeating and in disregard of Ms. Black Titanic's fact-filled 21-count amended complaint deemed true and the admission already on the record in Ms. Black Titanic's favor. It says, Ms. Black Titanic's 21-count amended complaint itself is the best evidence that OWN must be looking elsewhere when OWN claims to be unaware of the fact stated therein. OWN's entire motion to dismiss is a motion of self-defeating and meritless assertions made while looking away from Ms. Black Titanic's complaint. The motion filed by OWN is so frivolous that it must have been filed solely to cause delay. OWN mainly contends that there are no facts alleged. There are no facts that would involve OWN individually, completely conceding to claims alleging OWN's joint and severely liability. Contrary to the facts and the subject matter, OWN claims cannot be found in the 41-page, 21-count amended complaint. Ms. Black Titanic directs this court attention to the most basic word search of the 41-page complaint, where following wording and where surrounding factual allegations / subject matter are found, are continued, and where the subject matter and factual allegations have in no way been left out of Ms. Black Titanic's amended complaint. Now they go on here to list basically where you can find everything in their motion. In addition, this court must take notice on the record that Ms. Black Titanic's amended complaint survived Scott's motion to dismiss. Sidebar, Maurice already also submitted a motion to dismiss. Okay, so back to the document. It says, in that a full admission / concession has been made on the record by Scott in his untimely response to Miss Black Titanic's detailed, fact-filled, counter-amended cross-complaint. By the untimely defense/answer of Maurice Scott, the counter-defendant, Miss Black Titanic filed without any challenge from Scott and addressed Scott's admission/concession on the record. Contrary to own suggestion, Maurice Scott and the Oprah Winfrey Network, LLC, have been named individually, jointly, and severely liable in each of the 21 counts of Miss Black Titanic's amended answer, affirmative defenses, counterclaim against Maurice Scott, and cross-claim against OWN. Each of the 21 counts in said complaint are claims in which there has been an admission/concession by a Maurice Scott. OWN further and clearly admits that Scott's acts are deemed/held as misconduct as shown below. The motion to dismiss filed by the cross-defendant, the Oprah Winfrey Network, LLC, is completely moot and wholly without merit. OWN alleges no arguments which have merit. Refusal to read the facts in the complaint is not grounds for a dismissal. They go on to say, OWN attempts to offer two meritless reasons for the dismissal. Said motion begins with the meritless first assertion that Miss Black Titanic's complaint must fail for only two stated reasons. The first meritless claim stated in said motion to dismiss, page 1, second paragraph, is that Miss Black Titanic has failed to plead facts which entitle her to relief under the theory that OWN is vicariously liable for Scott's conduct. In addition, OWN alleges without merit that Miss Black Titanic has failed to plead that OWN faces respondent superior liability because Miss Black Titanic failed to plead that Mr. Scott is an employee or agent of OWN, or that the alleged misconduct occurred in the scope of his relationship. To entertain such an argument are futile, but for the sake of entertainment, that meritless assertion on page 3 of the document referred to as Miss Black Titanic's amended counter cross complaint, also referred to herein and hereafter as the complaint reminds the court that Maurice Scott has introduced this court to OWN through his own complaint and initial filings. Mr. Scott has never denied or objected that Scott should be joined as a necessary and inseparable party, the counter order that OWN is joined. Nor has Mr. Scott ever denied himself that OWN is liable or shares liability for problematic for OWN. On pages 4 through 5 of Miss Black Titanic's amended counter cross complaint, at paragraph 1, Miss Black Titanic states that Maurice Scott is an agent and or a representative or otherwise affiliated with the Oprah Winfrey Network and parties who are liable herein individually, jointly, and or severely. So they're saying they're going to go ahead and point out why OWN's motion to dismiss is meritless, and we're going to go ahead and skim to the second assertion. It says the second meritless assertion as to why Miss Black Titanic's amended complaint must be dismissed is because Miss Black Titanic has allegedly failed to plead facts supporting any claim entitling her to relief under the theory that OWN is individually liable, and because she failed to allege facts demonstrating that OWN individually engaged in any actionable misconduct, the assertion is wholly meritless as shown above. The one thing the amended complaint does not lack is facts, and facts setting out that OWN has created, puppeteered, controlled, and masterminded OWN's Love and Marriage Huntsville, an entire universe that surrounds this world of celebrity cast members. Without OWN, the public would not likely know Scott, and there would be no need for Scott to have surrendered his daily private life to a form of a level of chaos and extreme behavior needed for OWN's ratings and profit. The show is a sponge for extreme conduct at any cost. Every move made by OWN scripted, drama development, controversy, creating hand-picked cast of characters such as Scott is a potential film or episode on the OWN show. Stated more clearly, Scott would not be a celebrity would not be on TV or internet, would not have a viewing audience, would not be under constant pressure to perform, would not have his entire private life exposed to the public, would not have a need for extreme conduct, or would not have an obsession to protect OWN's rating, but for OWN. Stated another way, without OWN's pressure and control, OWN's financings, OWN's name and resources, the cameras would stop rolling and the curtains would close, leaving no cast or viewing audience. Maurice J. Scott Sr. would be just an everyday person seeking ordinary privacy we all expect in normal everyday life. Maurice J. Scott is an inseparable creation of OWN's a product. Scott's conduct is wholly for the benefit of his employer and controller, OWN. OWN is most certainly individually engaged in actionable misconduct and in concert with her own agent / employee / servant. Not him being a servant, child. Any notion that Miss Black Titanic's complaint does not state or allege so is simply frivolous, reckless, and without merit. The second reason provided by OWN supporting a dismissal of Miss Black Titanic's complaint must fail. Furthermore, in Alabama, a jointly liable party cannot be indemnified. The motion to dismiss is filed with other flaws and misstatements in the background section beginning at page 2. The motion states in error that Miss Black Titanic has been substituted for a fictitious party and that Love and Marriage Huntsville is unscripted. The motion, page 2, seems to misapply some meaning to this litigation or elements thereof not yet being aired or used as a theme for a show. All shows or episodes begin with an idea or concept that has been heated to just the right temperature for chaotic television event. OWN contends again in a gross error that Miss Black Titanic has never once asserted that Scott was an employee or agent relationship, or that Miss Black Titanic has never asserted that the Scott's misconduct was committed in the scope of such relationship, despite the clearly pleaded complaint. OWN alleges a hodgepodge of other meritless allegations, clear admission to Scott's misconduct, but no legal argument which have merit. Refusal to read the facts in the complaint is not grounds for dismissal. OWN admits at the bottom of page 2 that Scott was engaged in misconduct. Based on the facts as alleged, OWN is clearly the mastermind, the purpose, the final approving force, the ratifier, driving force, motivator, and controller over every detail, torturous event, and controversy forming episode material for OWN's show, as described in Miss Black Titanic's complaint. They said not indeed a contractor. OWN has inserted a footnote at the bottom of page 2 of its motion that Scott is an independent contractor and not an employee of OWN. Based upon the facts stated in Miss Black Titanic's complaint, this assertion is almost laughable and most certainly not resolved by any party who is attempting to misclassify its employee simply to avoid liability or even to avoid paying taxes. Employee status has usually been left for the court or a jury. However, the IRS has made it very clear as to when a worker is to be classified as an independent contractor. And it says, and places a heavy focus on behavior control, financial control, in addition to the relationship of the parties. OWN will certainly have to explain a lot when it comes to any deliberate misclassification of an Alabama employee, as Miss Black Titanic's complaint factually support. The IRS presumes that crew members, actors, and those working with any film productions are employees and not an independent contractor, as OWN should most certainly know. This material issue will likely surface throughout the case. Standard review is clear. They went in this motion. It was no holds bar, and I do mean that. Miss Black Titanic has a great attorney. She doesn't leave any stone unturned. She is calling OWN out for their bull. It says, OWN abandons further attack or legitimate allegations against Miss Black Titanic. Well-pled complaint. It says, in conclusion, OWN's motion to dismiss must be denied, lacking any supporting case law in OWN's favor, and when the motion is so frivolous as to cause undue delay, annoyance, harassment, or to serve no legal purpose. OWN does not request a hearing on their motion to dismiss, and this court will not need a hearing to rule or determine that OWN's motion cannot be granted. OWN's motion has no formal prayer or relief or requesting for a hearing. Wherefore, the above premises considered, along with the arguments and relief demanded above made herein, Miss Black Titanic further requests that this court enter a ruling / order without delay, completely denying OWN's motion to dismiss, completely rejecting the incorrect standard of the review attempted by OWN, completely rejecting efforts made by OWN to avoid a well-pled complaint, and in order granting all such other relief deemed necessary. They picked apart OWN's motion. What do y'all think is going to happen with this case? I'm going to keep you guys updated as the documents become available. We're going to discuss this a little more in a live. So y'all hit that like button. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.